Call to order. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Commissioner Kern.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the symbol for perfect religion.
At least I remember I flew down. Approve agenda. Any discussion or changes?
Commissioners, I would like to readjust the order of the agenda, please. I would like to, after public comment, move up number 44, which is discussion action hire of interim county attorney. Then followed by item 36, all the way through 40. So 36, discussion action financial report. This 37, discussion action budget report. 38, discussion action grant report. 39, discussion action resolution 2025-31 transfers various funds. And number 40, discussion action resolution 2025-032, budget adjustments of various funds. If commissioners, if there's no objection to that.
You want to remove that right after 44 behind public comment?
Correct.
Okay. And then also we need to postpone number 35.
Postpone 35? Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I'll
Thank
make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum,
Yes. Approve regular meeting minutes, February 25th, 2025. Any discussion?
No, sir.
Seeing none, motion,
So move.
Second.
roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum,
Yes. Number 6, recognize visitors. On the screen, we have Justin Minart and Audrey Armijo.
Tim Martinez, IT.
Rayetta Trujillo, Chief Deputy Clerk.
Warden Regina Slade, B Hill Maldonado Detention Center.
Randy Dietz, Raton citizen.
Glenn Stevens, Road Department.
Christy Graham, Colfax County Assessor.
Thank you. And we also have up here with us today, Daniel Ivy Soto. Item 7, public comments limited to 3 minutes each. Please introduce yourself, turn on the mic.
Good morning. My name is Brandy Dietz, and as you know, I am the appointed representative for Colfax County on the board for the North Central Economic Development District, also known as North Central or the NCNM-EDD. I just wanted to come and give you a brief report on my activities over the past quarter. I attended the in-person meeting in Santa Fe on January 30th and 31st. We had presenters informing us of legislation in the roundhouse, as well as a presenter discussing conflicts of interest. We had a presentation from Newmark, headed up by the Taos Mayor, Pascual Maestas. He is going to be having a, Newmark will be holding a rural policy conference in Rio Doso on September 1st through the 4th. They also gave us an update on the emergency preparedness recovery efforts and the future of San Miguel and Mora counties. Let's see. And on day 2, I found this was pretty interesting. Each of the counties discussed their challenges and achievements over the past year. I'm also volunteering on the SEDS committee, which is the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy team. We're working on this strategy for each of the counties, finding ways that we can benefit the individual counties as well as work together. Our first meeting was on January 15th. Our next one is on March 20th in Española. And the stakeholder meeting that we are scheduling for Colfax County is going to be on April 15th at the Village Hall in Cimarron from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Felicity from North Central is heading up that team. Somebody from her office is going to be sending out an invite to all of the stakeholders. I've organized a list of stakeholders across the county that she can send the invites to. So you should expect to see that probably in the next few weeks or so.
Any questions or updates? Thank you, ma'am. Seeing no other public comments, we'll move on. We are going to line item 44 as moved, discussion and action hire of interim county attorney. Commissioners, do you have any questions, comments, other?
No, Mr. Soto's had already answered all my questions I had prior.
Okay. With that, I will entertain a motion to hire Daniel Ivy Soto as an interim county attorney.
I'll go ahead and, you made the motion?
Sure.
Yeah, I will second that.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. Okay. Now we will go to line item 36. Discussion action financial report.
Okay. Good morning, commissioners. I'll go ahead and share my screen here. I have an Excel. I'm making a request to share my screen. If someone can please give me permission. Up on the screen here, I have our dashboard with our financial status report here. The biggest update is on the Tiger grant. We did have our monthly update meeting with them on Tuesday of last week, and the big change is we were able to get all of the quarterly progress reports and quarterly financial reports that were past due caught up and submitted. Those are still in progress of being accepted by FRA. However, they did see that we submitted them, and as a result, they lifted the payment hold, which means that the county can now go and submit all invoices and draw down the reimbursable costs, which is over $3.1 million in direct costs. And we'll also make a claim for indirect costs of about $700,000 and change. So that's very good news. Also, I'd like to report that the FY25 budget for Colfax County was submitted into LGBMS, and it went through the first 2 steps of their approval process and is currently awaiting approval by the director of that department at DFA. As part of that submission, we also prepared debt roll forwards. That is a new requirement that those roll forwards be submitted to DFA. So we had to prepare those from scratch, and those were completed. I already talked about this line here. So what was that? We've also been working on various other grant reconciliations. The next one that's going to come up is all the DFA grants. The county has 7 grants that need to be reported on by March 31st. So we were able to obtain access to the system where that reporting happens, called CPMS, on the DFA website. And we'll be working on that here in the next week or so, gathering all that data. There's also 2 special appropriations, which we'll take a look at as well. Additionally, there's an ARPA reporting coming up April 30th that we've started to get access to the federal website. The finance director was able to get a login created for that, so we can start preparing that reporting as well. And we do have some budget adjustments that we'll be presenting, a couple action items down the list. And we are continuing to do some work on capital asset inventory. It's slow going, but we are making some progress.
Justin, on that, do you have the chart of what we have and don't have updated?
I don't have it available to pull up right now.
Okay.
But we are missing some items. I'll say that. I think from fire, some of the various volunteer fire departments were some of the most glaring missing items on that list. So
Okay.
we'll work with the county on that this week.
But the MOUs and JPAs too, I believe.
Yeah. So the memorandums of understanding and the joint power agreements, we're also asking each department to give us any agreements that they have on hand, so we can start compiling those and provide them for audit purposes. Okay, Audrey, do you have any other items that you want to talk about here?
I think just taking a look at the upcoming work, there's plenty to do. And commissioners, you'll notice that there's a lot more green on this status report than there ever was before, which makes me feel very good and confident that things are headed in the right direction. If you scroll down just a little bit, Justin, to the timeline, these are some of the milestones that we have had throughout this process. And I think that meeting the 3/31 federal deadline for the audit, for the federal audit, is not going to be feasible really in the situation that the county has been in, and the external auditor probably won't be able to turn things around fast enough to have the entire audit completed by the end of the month. So I just wanted to give you the heads up on that. But we are still pushing forward as fast as we can now that we have the Tiger Grant reconciled and a lot of the budget and transfers that were in crisis that had to be researched and done immediately. Now that we have those pretty much, settled, we are able to focus more on audit prep for the fiscal year 24 audit process. And so I did send out an update on what's called the PBC list, or prepared by client list, of the things that are still pending, and we'll continue to tackle those items with the county and provide those to the external audit firm, and then get through the FY24 audit. And whilst that is occurring, we will, once we get confirmation that the payment hold is lifted, we'll submit the RFRs, like Justin said earlier, on the Tiger Grant, which should help the county's cash balance significantly, almost $4 million. So we have that in progress. And then, as we mentioned in the last few meetings, budget is coming quickly again for the new fiscal year. So we are open to feedback on how the commission would like us to support you in that process.
Audrey, I did see an email from FRA this morning. It says FRA accepts the as-built, and thank you for the timely submission. So
Yeah, so that was on DOT's side. They did submit those plans, and we did ask the FRA speed up the process with the engineers of checking the as-built, just in case anything needed to be changed or paid for or anything like that. It would all need to be handled before March 31st. And so it sounds like they did respond, and so.
thank you.
Any further questions, commissioners? Discussion, not really an action. Line item 37, discussion action, budget report.
Okay, I have the budget report showing on my screen the totals by department and by fund. As mentioned, I think we have made really significant progress on fixing most of the glaring items that needed to be fixed on the budget. We do have a couple of budget adjustments that fix some of those last couple issues that were sticking out. One of those was on the YES program, which is what in Fund 218 here. So this required adjustment. We did reclassify everything out of the YES behavioral health grant, as that no longer has funding, into the 412 grant through journal entry. And as you can see, there's only 13% remaining. So we do make an adjustment to payroll in the YES program to give it sufficient budget through the end of the year. And we're going to be following up this week on ensuring that all the payroll items in that fund had proper authorization and approval, because there is a big increase from prior year. So it does look like the program may have additional funding this year from last year. Scrolling back up to the top here, I have items highlighted in column F here, which are kind of below the threshold where the expenditures are ratable throughout the year. So county commission continues to be a little bit faster than budget. We have to clean up one line item to reclassify expenditures before we can do kind of a final budget adjustment on that here soon. Senior Center, I don't believe requires adjustment right now, nor does county insurance, as we already adjusted for the big annual payment a few weeks back. Philmont Fire, I don't believe requires an adjustment at this time. All the fire funds are pretty healthy. On the grant side of things, the finance director is starting to look at some of the sheriff's office recruitment grants, so the county can do reimbursement on those grants. Now that the FY25 budget has been submitted, that was a DFA requirement before the county can work on those reimbursements. So we'll know more about that here soon. And there are not any other funds that appear to require adjustment. Everything else is pretty much on track. Does the commission have any questions on any of these items?
I do.
Go ahead.
Justin, I just have a little update at the next meeting. There is an MOU coming forward for the YES program, and I'll go ahead and forward this to you ahead of time. But it looks like they'll be getting a little over $87,000 in additional funding this year. So that might help plug some of the funding gap.
And that program does have over $300,000 in cash available as well. So there is sufficient funding for this fiscal year, regardless.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Commissioner Kern?
No questions. In looking at the stuff on lodger's tax that I've been working on, I've noticed that we haven't done any journal entries moving the payroll items over to the general fund. So at some point in time, we'll need to move those funds over.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'll take note of that.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that, we'll move on to line item 38, discussion action grants report.
We did discuss a few of the grants already. I think there was one or two other ones I wanted to talk about that were on this. We talked about the Sheriff's Office quarterly reporting. FAA grants. That's also in progress to get the reimbursements going on that. We do have to get added to the invoicing system for that. So I sent out email requests to the point of contact with the FAA on that earlier this week. So that's in progress right now. I'll have to follow up on that. It seems I haven't heard back. Commissioner Trujillo, is there any other grants that we haven't discussed that you'd like to talk about?
No, not at this time. If you need help, Justin, with that FAA, it's let me know. I can reach out to Jamie. He's been really helpful with us on that. I also have Leroy working on the Delphi axis on his side too. And I'm sure we can probably get that resolved either today or tomorrow. I still haven't had an opportunity to follow up on the baby boxes. I did do our monthly reporting for the county event center, the quality of, I forget the name of it. Anyways, the grant that's being used for the Colfax County Event Center, I did that reporting to DFA. We'll be just doing our regular reporting moving forward. And we did meet with DFA last week or week prior after our last commission meeting, Justin and myself, and got a good rundown of everything that the county has with DFA, and they were able to actually help and provide us with all the backup documentation that they have thus far. So it does make it a lot cleaner and easier for us within the county. And we are compiling all this within our SharePoint in our county manager's office to maintain a database. That's all.
Yes, thank you. I think that database, I'd call it a grant tracker, is going to be very useful to kind of maintain knowledge. You know, if there's turnover, it should all be documented all in one place. Some of that was already done, but I think we're improving upon what was already there, especially as far as keeping all grant agreements and other documentation all in one accessible place.
Thank you, Justin.
Commissioner Kern?
No questions. Thank you.
All right. Discussion only. Move on to line item 39, discussion action resolution 2025-031, transfer various funds.
Sorry, I was muted. We only have one recommended transfer. This is a temporary transfer to make the final payment on the Tiger 9 grant for $103,941 to be reimbursed back to the general fund after that reimbursement is drawn down. And that's because this Tiger 9 grant has its own bank account. So this allows that final payment to be made out of the correct bank account. And that is our only transfer. So I'll stand for any questions.
Commissioners? None?
I have one quick question, and it kind of goes back to the when we do
request the reimbursement from the FRA. Do you have any idea what the time frame would be on actually receiving those funds?
No,
That's fine.
it shouldn't be too long, but I wouldn't care to guess.
Okay, no,
We usually would get them within 30 days,
okay,
usually.
thank you.
They did let us know one of the meetings here recently that it's, as everyone knows, a little bumpy at the federal level. So, you know, she's made a comment that like 2 weeks ago we weren't processing payments, now we are processing payments. So I think they might be even backed up just a little bit, but yeah, it shouldn't be too bad.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion?
I make a motion to approve resolution 2025-31, transfers various funds.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum,
Yes. Line item 40, discussion action resolution 2025-032, budget adjustment various funds.
All right, I'll do a quick run through and just please feel free to stop me and ask questions as I'm running through these. I have it sorted to where the state bars are at the top of the list and the maintenance bars, which are internal transfers within a same fund, are at the end. The first adjustment is to the road fund, an increase in $147,000 to pay for equipment leases through the end of the fiscal year. That's the required adjustment, and maintenance for equipment had some excess budget for which we'll reduce to offset some of those increased costs. The next item on the list is for the general fund adjustments. There's a couple of adjustments within the general fund. One is for increases related to IT contract services for that contract projected through the end of the year. $38,000 is the projected increase needed. For the audit contract for the ongoing audit for FY24, $26,971 is the contracted amount. And the rest of the line items relate to a $1.50 increase for an individual that was approved during last meeting. So this is the adjustment to provide budget for that.
And Justin, I think the audit contract is just to bring it to the total. The 26 isn't the.
Yeah, that's not the amount. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is just adjusting to get it through the rest of the audit.
Correct. Thank you. The next item on the list is for the YES program. I referenced to this adjustment earlier. Payroll costs are significantly higher than what was originally budgeted. And this is to get it through the end of the fiscal year based on the current amounts that are being expended, projected out to the end of the fiscal year. Next item is just $135 increase for debt service fees. That's the semi-annual fee payment on that revenue bond debt service. The next item is just a small adjustment for $27 to the Tiger grant to get it up to the amount that needs to be expended for that final payment on that grant. Next item is the sheriff's office. Everything from this point forward, these are all maintenance bars. So increase in expenditures is offset by the decrease in expenditures in this fund to provide budget needed for per diem and for professional service payments that need to be made. Next is the clerk's office within the general fund. Just a $1,400 increase offset by IT services and supplies. So this is just a contract for some of its record keeping software. This next item is just a dollar adjustment for needed payment in the airport fund. In the maintenance department within the general fund, an increase of $1,300 offset by $1,300 decrease to supplies between maintenance and supplies. In the maternal and child health care department in the intergovernmental grants, an increase of $16,000 to supplies offset by a decrease of $16,000 to professional services. In the Miami Fire Volunteer Fire Department within the fire fund, $1,500 increase to telephone expense offset by a $1,500 decrease to inventory. And that's the last proposed adjustment. So I'll stand at this point for any questions that you might have.
I want to thank you guys for everything. I appreciate it. And I mean, to me, when we get him down to a $1 adjustment, that means we're getting close to, getting everything in line. So I'm excited with that and I appreciate it. I have no further questions. Commissioners?
Commissioner Kern?
No questions. Thank you, Justin.
I have none. Thank you, sir. With that, I have a motion.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2025-32 budget adjustments, various funds.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo, Chairman Tatum.
Yes. Line item A, discussion, action, approve expenditures. Any discussion, Commissioner Kern?
No, sir.
Commissioner Trujillo?
No.
Seeing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. Line item 9, discussion action, approve expenditures pursuant to resolution number 2022-49. Any discussion? Motion?
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Abstain.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. Line item 10, discussion action, indigent care claims.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. So we're not quite ready. We're still in the process of trying to get things together and do it properly. We do have a meeting in Clayton on Thursday to get a little bit more insight, but I would ask if this could be postponed until the next meeting so that we can, because I don't want to do it wrong. I'd rather we do it correctly. So I would ask that we can postpone it until next meeting.
Thank you. I agree. Motion to postpone till next meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. Line item 11, discussion action, clinical affiliation agreement between Santa Fe Community College and Colfax County Healthcare. Commissioners, any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. Line item 12, discussion action, protest board appointments.
Good morning, Chairman Tsai, Commissioners, Madam Clerk. This is just, I'm bringing forward, I have protest hearings, formal protest hearings, if we can't resolve them in the informal protest hearings. So I just wanted to bring up Tim O'Neill from Cimarron will be one of my board members. Stacy Ewing from Angel Fire will be one of my board members, and then Wendy Miletta is my alternative. And I just wanted to bring that forward to you, and if you have any questions on that. And then I will draw up a resolution on that and bring it at the next meeting. Any questions?
I have none. Commissioner Kern?
No questions. I'd make a motion to approve the assessor's appointments to the protest board.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum,
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Assessor.
Line item 13, discussion action, reassignment of old treasurer's office.
Commissioners, this was put on there by me as acting county manager. I've had IT go in there, kind of gather any access equipment that we've had in there. Also work with the maintenance staff to get it cleaned up and whatnot. There's been, I guess I'm not sure what the commission's desire is to use that office space for. There has been some discussion with having EMS and the fire marshal merge into that position. If that is not a desire of the commission, what I'd probably propose is to move the fire chief up here to the third floor. And then there was a recent, in your packet, you'll notice recent terminations of leases within, and Colfax County did receive one of those terminations for their, and Commissioner Kern could probably, the Natural Resource Conservation Services Office.
NRCS.
Yes, over at the, what is now at the post office there. I don't believe we'd be getting any, or much funding as far as rent income goes on that space, but it does employ about 3 people. And they would, from my understanding, from talking with Bo Lopez in the extension office, they do provide around $10 million in grants, or been able to get $10 million in grants and help those local farmers and ranchers out. But I'll let Mr. Beal speak to that if he has any interest in that office, or Commissioner Kern if she had any comments on the NCRS and whatnot. Thank you.
Commissioner Kern?
Go ahead and let Tom.
Let Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Vigil?
So, well, I will say, I know the fire marshal is still currently working on his new building out at the event center. So that's something in the pipeline. So kind of my thoughts on it. I know Nate's pretty tight where he is right now in that little broom closet. I get along fine in my office. I don't really mind it so much. So part of my thoughts are, if he's still planning on having that building, then even us moving into the treasurer's office would be a temporary solution. And then, you know, a year or 2 from now, you're again looking to fill that space. So again, just my brain working through this. I think it's a nice big space. It could provide access for a larger office. NRCS, I think, would be a great place to come in here, especially since I know their current facility isn't ADA compliant. And that's been an ongoing issue with them over the years. They've been grandfathered in, but as a federal agency, really like to see them as ADA compliant. So even looking at shuffling the pieces around here, I'd be fine to stay in my office. For the fire marshal, I haven't discussed this with him. This is just my idea. I do know the old office underneath the stairs down there. Currently, that's pretty much empty. I think there's a couple boxes in there. Fire marshal actually was in there at one point. Also, the probate judge was in that office. I think that'd be a great office for me if not up here. The one issue up here is the one available room I know of is the one on the other side of me, and that's almost the same size as the one Nate's in right now.
So the other office that became available was Michael Muniz's office. He's moved into the office where Miss Avila was at in ours. So it freed up the this office, the first office here to the right.
Yeah, so that one is slightly larger, and then there's the option of putting filing cabinets inside that intermediary room outside the break room there. So either one of those, in my opinion, would be a decent solution, temporary for moving around the fire marshal. But personally, I don't. While the treasurer's office is a nice space, my fear is everyone that comes up the stairs goes in that office. And so I love visitors, but not that much. But again, I think looking on a more long-term timeline, I think it'd be a better use to bring in someone else that's going to be in there the next 5-10 years.
Kind of hard to knock on that door.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you, sir. Questions? Miss?
Yeah, a couple of questions, statements first, but maybe the question later. I do think it would be a good space for NRCS. I don't know what the status of Farm Service Agency is. I mean, they are tied together, so I imagine if they're not going to pay the rent for one, they're not paying the rent for the other, and that would be a total of 5 employees. But I think that space is still big enough to handle all of them, if done correctly. The one concern we always had about that office is there's only one entry and one exit. And I wish the fire marshal was here to address that, but I would be totally in favor of bringing NRCS over as well as FSA if necessary. And I do know they pay rent. They were paying rent over there. So the other thing that would have to be addressed is they are on a 5-day week. So the building would be open then on Friday. It would be my recommendation to figure out a way to at least block off the stairs going both up and down, or at least going up so that there's not access to the 3rd floor.
Good bring up. I hadn't thought it out. Where were you talking about moving, Michael?
He's moving in right to the office next to the county manager.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And there is probably one possible other change within the manager's office due to privacy concerns, et cetera, that we might do some changing. But that, yeah.
Okay.
If the commissioners have questions, they'll be more than happy to answer that off.
Okay, is there any timeline knowing when they may need this? I had a discussion with Mr. Lopez on another subject, and it was just kind of in the air pending at the moment and uncertain, or
Yeah, that's my understanding. I just kind of wanted to get some direction.
yeah.
And I think that's probably what Mr. V. Hill said makes good common sense. If I could have the fire marshal up here, it'd give him a little bit more room, keep them ready. They could still use this conference room. And that office down there could just stay for the time being. And I understand that Nate is going to continue to work in that building. And like Tom said, it'll probably be about a year, 2 years down the road before it's constructed and completed for an office to be extended out there. So.
Okay. Any further discussion? Seeing none.
I guess,
Yes.
no, that's fine.
Okay. I would motion reassign the old treasurer's office to NRCS pending.
Can we, would you accept a friendly amendment to that?
Sure.
I would make the motion to approve assigning the old treasurer's office to the FSA and NCRS NRCS if their office space becomes unavailable in the near future.
Accepted. Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. Line item 14, discussion action resolution 2025-021, amend resolution 2025-020, Open Meetings Act resolution. I have one question on this, but go ahead.
Yeah, commissioners, thank you for also moving up, our line item for the attorney. And this might help answer some of my questions. The questions I had, first off, and Mr. Sotos, I'll let you, it's going to be item 6. In here, it says, copies of written notice shall also be mailed to those broadcasting station licenses by the FCC and newspapers of general circulation that have made a written request for notice to public meetings. What I'm requesting is when we say mailed, I don't want to mail. By the time it gets regular mail, it's going to be at least a week out and will be irrelevant at the time anyways. So I request to be emailed, which has been standard practice with all these as well. We talk about a newspaper of general circulation. I know the Herfino World Journal is probably considered the only paper of general circulation. Yet it's my understanding that they need to have a office within the county to be considered a paper of general circulation. And I do not believe they have an office here anymore. And part of this also, it does put time constraints on the county manager's office on getting agendas created and built to meet printing deadlines. And therefore we end up doing amendments to our agenda to get more urgent pertinent matters on the agenda, even though I try not to amend them as much as possible. Those are my kind of concerns with those, and that's why I requested striking mailed and inserting emailed and striking newspaper of general circulation from this. Now, I don't know if that is possible or not. So I leave it up to Mr. Sotos or the rest of the commission for discussion or input.
I agree with the email, the paper. I didn't know if we could do that or if we needed to list it in such a way that if we did have a permanent paper come back, for print, but I leave that to Attorney Soto.
I don't do it necessarily.
No, I think I get the paper 2 days after we've had the meeting.
Exactly.
Mine comes by mail.
And that's still a week ahead of time.
Yes, sir.
So, but go ahead.
Yeah, certainly. No, both of those are fine. What we did with this resolution was use the template from the Attorney General's office. They still use mailed, and as well as they've got the standard broadcast stations licensed by the FCC, newspapers of general circulation. But I do agree, you don't have any newspapers of general circulation. Certainly, if someone were to call and ask from some other place, you could certainly send them for the meetings that they're requesting. They put in a standing order, we could have that discussion at that point. But but otherwise, I think those changes work, and these days they would want to have it emailed anyway.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sotos.
I had one other question. Should we email our agendas out to like the city of Raton, Eagles Nest, Cimarron, to have them aware?
They should be notified. I mean, we can, however, it is common practice that in our Open Meetings Act that we hold the first meeting, the second and fourth Tuesday of each month. It is also posted on our county website and these broadcast stations.
Okay.
But if it's a desire of the commission, it's something that the county manager could easily add on some emails if we get those email addresses.
It was just a thought. I didn't know. I think most of them know exactly when we meet or when they need something, but I didn't know if they received one in current. So, All right, with Mr. Soto's recommendation, I will call for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-21, amending resolution 2025-20, Open Meetings Act with the discussed changes.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum,
Yes. All right, line item 15, discussion action resolution 2025-022, solid waste coordinator compensation.
Commissioners, this was something that was brought to my attention. I've included documentation in your packet of prior pay increases to this position. I will be abstaining from this vote as a commissioner, just that I am the county manager bringing this one forward. But with that, I currently do not see that there is enough funds within that line item budget. If this raise is given, we will need to do a bar out of that line item. I did confirm that with solid waste, but they said that probably wouldn't be that big of an issue absorbing that, but at still point, it would be a transfer of some form. Commissioners?
Commissioner Kern.
I'd personally like to wait until budget on it, but I'd like to hear what the rest of the commission has to say.
I reviewed the examples sent. The examples sent, in my opinion, were in charge of multiple things, not a single solid waste coordinator. And in my opinion, this should wait until budget and then move forward. Any further comment as commissioner?
No, as a commissioner, no, I'm fine. I'm fine with the agreements of the commission.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
may I?
Yes.
In following that up and because we have done considerable reassignment of some job duties in that, I do think it's necessary that we look at the job descriptions of everyone in the manager's office right now. And I think that that being said, that's another reason why I think we need to hold off on this and until we get those. But I would hope that we could get those by budget so that we can look at it, take consideration of all of that at that time. Thank you.
Agreed.
Mr. Chairman, that is something that we can do as a county manager's office. What I'll do is I'll get with the human resources manager and come up with get the job descriptions we currently have, review them, probably come up with new ones and provide them to that employee to see if there's anything within their duties that we are missing. Then we can bring them all in front of the commission and also reevaluate all this come budget time.
I agree. I think we're gonna have to do some, with everything that has changed and developed moving forward, I think we're pretty well gonna have to rewrite almost every job description up here. But I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we postpone consideration on solid waste coordinator compensation until we receive updated job descriptions and budget review.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Abstain.
Chairman Tatum,
Yes. Line item 16, discussion action resolution 2025-023, indigent care coordinator compensation.
Commissioners, this was brought up that In the assignment of the E911, the commission gave a slight increase in the pay. The warden had came and asked if it was possible to do a slight increase as well for indigent care. I feel that within the budgetary, within moving this position in the cost savings, I think a 75-cent per hour increase to this individual taking on these extra job duties would be sufficient. And I just wanted to bring it in front of the commission for consideration.
Thank you. Commissioner Kern?
One question maybe for the warden. Is this being handled by just one individual in your office, ma'am? So this raise is just for one person? Yeah. Okay, thank you. It will be necessary to redo their job description as well.
Yes.
And I would even propose doing the equivalent that we did for the E911 of $1.50. Some either $1 or $1.50.
Is this a resolution or?
This is a resolution.
Okay.
And I could go into further detail in my commissioner docket why I am doing, our county manager docket, why we have resolutions.
Okay. I just know in the past what I've seen, it's just pay's been amended and so forth.
Yeah.
All right.
You have
any further?
Do you have a desire as far as the dollar amount goes, Mr. Chairman?
$1 would be fine with me. I believe we give $1 something to the assessors.
$1.50.
And so we're absolving a complete position. So I believe that would be adequate. I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2025-23 indigent care coordinator compensation, giving them a raise of $1 an hour. Sidebar, not part of the motion, but I would request that the warden bring about an updated post duty or job description at the next meeting for us on that, please.
Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. Line item 17, discussion action resolution 2025-024, expressing support for local government control and participation as a cooperating agency under Nation Environmental Policy Act, NEPA. Oh, this one I asked to be brought up in supporting our fellow counties. For those of you who don't know, the federal government has proposed a corridor going through Colorado down the eastern side of the state. Recently, the newest leg that they added goes right into the nuclear waste storage. There is another one bent and goes to White Sands. That's where it's currently was updated, and I was tracking it and suddenly all information disappeared from the website. But they are not coordinating with our fellow counties, our fellow commissioners, and the landowners. Me and Commissioner Trujillo attended one update in Santa Fe. Me and Vice Chair Kern attended the second in Clayton. And these farmers, ranchers, commissioners, others haven't been told anything. They're just kind of being, in my opinion, run over. This corridor is anywhere from 15 to 125 miles wide with no explanation other than 3 power lines. But the way it's written, they can put in pipelines, they can put in transport, and they can do storage of unknown things. And they can also expand it at will. So I call for this resolution. I would like to stand with our neighboring counties against them and make the federal government come to them and discuss and work out actions or to kill it completely. Any further comment, Vice Chair Kern?
No, sir, you summed it up pretty well. This is quite frightening as a landowner, and even though it's not happening to us, it's happening to our neighbors, and at any point in time, any one of us could be next. So I support the resolution.
Commissioner Trujillo?
No, I have no further comment. I agree with both of what your statements were.
Okay. I would call for
I make a motion. I make a motion to approve resolution 2025-04, supporting, expressing local support for the opposition of the corridor.
I'll second that.
roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. Thank you. I was really spooked at all the people I actually knew at that meeting, and ranchers that have been there 5 and 6 generations. It just, anyway. Line item 18. Discussion action resolution 2025-025, accepting state road fund cooperative agreement control number HW2LP40039, additional funds, Bartlett Mesa subdivision paving project.
Commissioners, I don't know if we've been doing stuff improper, if the state's been doing a change of some on how they want stuff from us. They're requesting most everything now in the form of a resolution. So this is me just following up on prior stuff that's already been approved by the commission, but putting it in a resolution form. So this one is one of them, including the next several resolutions. So I stand for any questions or comments.
Vice Chair Kern?
No questions. I make a motion to approve resolution 2025-25.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. Line item 19, discussion action resolution 2025-026. County road extension on cooperative agreement Bartlett Mesa LP 40039. Resolution replacing 2025-10 county road extension and cooperative agreement. Any discussion?
Commissioners, the only, this is the same thing as the last time, just putting it in the form of a resolution. And I did update the number on the resolution to reflect what is stated on the agenda as far as the cooperative agreement number.
Okay, thank you. Vice Chair Kern,
No questions, sir.
motion,
Make a motion to approve resolution 2025-026.
second, roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Yes. Discussion action, or excuse me, line item 20, discussion action resolution 2025-027, county road extension on cooperative agreement Blosser Gap LP 40023. Resolution replacing 2025-10 county road extension cooperative agreement.
Commissioners, this is going to be the same as 19, where I went and updated the cooperative agreement number, and it just puts it in the form of a resolution requesting the extension.
Motion,
I make a motion to approve resolution 2025-027.
second, roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum,
Yes. Line item 21, resolution 2025-028, accepting amendment number 1 for project AXX-24-01 aircraft hangar construction and repair.
Commissioners, this is just a agreement accepting the amendment to the contract for the extension. So this extends it out one more year, but we will press to get this completed this summer due to the building season within the Moreno Valley.
Comments? Motion,
So moved?
Second.
roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum,
Yes. 22, discussion action resolution 2025-029, accepting first amendment to local government transportation project fund control number LP 40039, Bartlett Mesa.
So commissioners, this is just accepting the amendment in the form of a resolution extending the project 1 year with the cooperative agreement.
Motion,
So moved.
Second.
roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. Line item 23, discussion action resolution 2025-030, accepting first amendment to local government transportation project fund control number LP 40023, Blosser Gap. Discussion,
Nope, this is just the same as prior reasoning for doing these.
motion,
Move to approve resolution 2025-30.
Second.
roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum,
Yes. If I come calling in a background check. Oof. Yes, ma'am, we can. 5-minute recess.
Thank you.
Hey, Tim.
Oh. 10:16, we'll call the meeting back to order. Line item 24, discussion action memorandum of understanding between the alternatives to violence and V Hill Maldonado Detention Center. Warden.
Good morning again. This is just a renewal contract. We have to have an outside agency for Prison Rape Elimination Act phone calls. So this is just a renewal of that MOU.
Any questions? Commissioner Kern?
I make a motion to approve.
I have one quick question.
Go ahead.
There's no changes from prior, correct?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I'll second that motion.
Roll call?
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trio,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum,
Yes. Okay. Yeah, no. Line items 25 through 31 are all the exact same contract, different places, correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct. And the only thing that had changed from the prior contract is the rate for housing, which was approved at a prior meeting last year.
And I propose this as a singular. Okay. Line item 25 through 31. Discussion action agreement for inmate confinement between Colfax County and Union County, Roosevelt County, Taos County, San Miguel County, the Village of Angel Fire, and the City of Clayton, and the City of Raton. Any discussions or questions?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes,
Thank you.
that was very nice. I wondered that. And I was in a recent village meeting where they had the same thing, but it was one line item, A, B, C, D, E, F.
Oh, yeah.
So I was curious.
That is an option that you could do under a different format of an agenda.
Okay. Yeah. That sped things up. Line 32, discussion action, property use and liability agreement with Colfax County and Raton Main Street International Santa Fe Trail Balloon Rally.
Commissioners, this is probably me doing a foot fault trying to get ahead of the curve. They did reach out to me, Raton Main Street did. They requested we do a MOU with them. I have failed to call them since the meeting and try to get an MOU from them, but I copied last year's MOU, pretty much the exact same, put it on our letterhead. And I figured the weekends out from the prior year to this year on when they do use the La Mesa airfield for the balloon rally. So I stand for your questions or comments.
Vice Chair Kern,
No questions. Move to approve.
second. Roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. Line item 33, discussion action, Lodgers Tax Committee. Current Lodgers team.
Yeah.
Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No titles, please. At this time, I don't have any new nominees. We are talking to some people and working on that, but do not have any new appointments at this time.
Do the two left have to be business owners or work or just outside of?
We need one business owner and one short-term rental owner.
And one what?
Short-term rental owner.
Okay.
You know, I might have a short-term rental owner, possibly Mrs. Camp, Lisa Camp.
They'd be interested to
I'll reach out.
send them my direction.
Okay. Discussion only, discussion action, Lodgers Tax Promotional Funding Request, the 2025 Charcoal Burner Race at Vermejo Park Ranch promotional application.
Mr. Chairman, the three current qualified lodgers tax committee members did meet on Friday, and they did unanimously approve this application.
Okay.
And recommend approval by commission.
Commissioner Trujillo?
Only question is, do we need to specify which funds are coming out of which as far as promotional, non-promotional?
I believe it's in the,
It's in the packet. Okay,
it's in the.
that works for me. Thank you.
Okay,
I'll make the motion to approve.
second. Roll call?
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. 35 is postponed till possibly the next meeting. 36 through 40 was moved to earlier. Line item 41, discussion action, section 4, salaries, compensation and benefits. 4.1 compensation, first sentence to be changed to elected official salary increases shall be governed by the Board of County Commissioners. Paragraph 2, first deputy salary shall equal the elected official salary but not exceed 10% above the elected official.
Commissioners, this was requested by Sheriff Baca.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen. The reason I asked for this to be put on the agenda, one, when I was reading through the policy, it read that it was set by state statute on the first section. That changed in November to Board of County Commissioners to approve elected official salaries. So just trying to get that cleaned up. I believe our policy is an ordinance, so we would have to advertise as well to change that. The second section, knowing that budget is coming up, giving us the opportunity to maybe bring our chief deputies up as an option to keep our options open where it's not limited to just a 90%. Just to keep our options open moving into budget. And so that we would be able to, I think we have to advertise several times before you all could discuss and take action on the changes to that policy and ordinance.
So this is just essentially bringing it forward to see if we want to move forward with adjusting this and bringing it
Yes.
to an ordinance.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Vice Chair Kern.
Yeah, since this would be an amendment to the personnel policy ordinance, there's extensive advertising required, but I would be in favor of going forward in advertising to make the adjustment.
Okay. Attorney Soto, would we have to put this in the newspaper, or would our normal postings, radio, blah, 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 would that be sufficient since we do not have a paper of record circulation?
So when you normally do an ordinance, where do you normally publish?
We'll publish it in the World Journal.
Huh?
We publish it in the World Journal.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And I don't believe this would be an issue to get this published within the time frame and necessity because it's not necessarily rushed.
Yeah.
We could push this out and put it on the papers.
No, I was just curious since we don't have to for our regular meetings, if we would still have to post this in there.
Yeah, so the posting that you do for proposed ordinance is a separate statute.
Okay.
On ordinances. And so that's not impacted by what we did with the Open Meetings Act resolution. And really in terms of just as a best practice, I would think in terms of time frame on this, if you were to shoot for the beginning, having this done so that you could adjust the salaries at the beginning of the fiscal year.
Okay.
I think probably makes the best budgetary sense.
All right, sure. Have you had a chance to read this as written?
Yes, sir, I have. So as you guys know, county elected salaries from the time of statehood until this last year were limited by the legislature.
Yes, sir.
And then that was repealed. And now it's set by the county. There's never been any state statutory requirement in terms of chief deputies. However, with a chief deputy, you want someone who's going to be able to step into the position at any time. And a lot of times also you have people who switch back and forth. And it certainly the current policy that you have that forces someone to reduce their salary if they stay on, right, this would resolve that. They could keep making the same thing.
All right, sir. Thank you.
I will, Mr. Chairman, I will state that when I do publish this in the newspaper, I probably will not publish the whole ordinance. What I'll do is I'll state where the action that's going to be occurring and where the ordinance could be found, either online or available for reading within the county building here.
And that would satisfy the statute.
Okay, thank you. Sounds good. Any further discussion, commissioners?
No, sir.
Seeing none, I'll call for a motion.
I make a motion to, I guess, proceed with the change in the personnel policy ordinance.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. 42, discussion action, fill 2 vacancies for the sheriff's office.
Again, we had, prior to our last meeting, I knew that we may have people leaving. I did receive 2 separate resignation letters, which I turned into HR last week. I'm just asking to replace those 2 positions. Since the action of the commission with the increase, we do have 2 people that have applied based on the advertising that we had already been doing, approved by commission. So this would just allow us to continue that process with background and get ready to fill those positions. One will be done on the 15th of March. The other deputy will be done the 31st of March.
Questions, commissioners? What does it cost us to train an officer that has no certification?
About $125,000.
Okay. I was curious. I thought it was less than that, but thank you, sir. With that, I'll call for a motion.
I make a motion to fill the 2 recent vacancies in the sheriff's office.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Line item 43, discussion action, job description for county manager and advertising of the position. Vice Chair Kern.
My computer timed out on me and had to pull it up. I did have a couple of issues with the description, where it was talking about, the piece about, dismissing for no cause and that with $50,000 compensation. I don't believe that needs to be in the job description. Anything in that section needs to be part of it. I think that's a contractual piece.
Okay, so strike the termination of employment part.
Yes. I think that's negotiated in contract and doesn't need to be part of it. Also, there didn't seem to be any discussion about advising the commission. I do think that the county manager should be responsible of advising the commission on possible, needed policy changes as a result of legislature or changes in personnel, EEOC stuff. I believe the manager should be advising on things that are going on and keeping in the county and updating the commission on that. current changes within villages and city ordinances. The piece about the airport needs to be taken out
Commissioner Kern, I would request.
or rewritten. I mean, we still own it, but
Yeah. I'm just thinking worst case scenario is we still retain it.
yeah, I think it needs to be rephrased then.
Okay.
Because currently we're not in charge of it.
Okay.
I think they need to be able to make recommendations like on the personnel policy and because of experience, you know, I mean, your policy is your best guidance in that, but it also, it always seems like when you get a new policy, it results out of something that has happened. So.
Be more proactive.
Yes. And I would ask that the county attorney, Mr. Ivy Soto, review it.
Call for a motion.
Well, did you have any further comments on it?
No, my computer kicked me out. So, and I believe y'all covered all of my questions that I had wrote to the side.
So I guess my only two questions are, I have no problem making these adjustments or changes. One, I don't really, this is me being selfish. I don't want to wait another 2 weeks for this to be put out in front of a posting to open position. Would the commission be okay with these changes, Mr. Soto reviewing and then possibly posting it?
Yes.
Yes.
The other question is the salary range, does that look sufficient? I have provided in the packets what other counties are making. That kind of falls within the lower and higher end of the Class B counties. And it is in your commissioner packet.
Well, that's enough to make me want to apply again.
Really?
Compared to what I was making.
Being in this, that doesn't make me want to apply.
Well, for what you've had to clean up here lately, I don't blame you.
So prior, our county manager was at 110. Luna County was the most,
I think it's sufficient.
150 was the high end there, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, guys.
Yeah, I think that's more.
Mr. Soto, did you have something?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, just two things. One is I do agree with removing the termination of employment part from the announcement.
Okay.
That's something for negotiation once you have a candidate. And if you don't have the airport, if you're not doing the airport operations, overseeing the operations, either should be removed or else you should add at the end if brought back under county administration, one of the two.
Yeah, so what I've done is I've reached out to Jeff Gilmer, and this is giving some background to the commission real quick. I reached out to Jeff Gilmer and I said, even though that you guys are in the process, you are operating the airport, my concern is I want to be kept up to date with everything within that's going on. This way, if there ever is for some reason, a turnover back to the county, there's no skipping a beat with those operations.
If I could suggest actually then just change the word oversee to the word coordinate.
Perfect. If that works with the commission.
Good with that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm just paranoid. I'm an insurance agent by trade, so I always think worst case scenario.
Absolutely. No, and that way, if it's them, coordinates it. If it comes back under, coordinates it.
Cool. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Are you
And,
kick me out again?
Just a note for the chairman.
Yes, sir.
And that is that if the commissioner to your left and the commissioner to your right puts in, I guess you're the only one who's going to be making a decision on this.
On what now? Say that again, sir.
I said, if Commissioner Kern and Commissioner Trujillo both put in for county manager, you're the one who's going to make a decision on this.
Okay.
So you're all right.
No, you.
Oh, boy. We'll create some more headaches here. All right.
It's not gonna happen, so don't worry about it.
Well, I'm not worried either way, so I call for a motion.
So moved.
Second the motion with changes. Roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. I would like, and I didn't, it threw me out. I should have said before I called. I think you had it listed, but I wanted, the New Mexico Municipal League on the advertising, the National Association of Counties on the posting, and of course, New Mexico County. I was trying to look up another one, but I ran out of time. I didn't know if Texas had a Texas County listing we could post on for the manager.
Yes, sir.
But I want to hit broad and wide. And I also, if we're doing a selection committee, I don't want more than any one person from any department on it.
Okay. But that's something we
I
could
think
just,
selection committee's right here.
I'm sorry, do what?
I said, I think your selection committee's right here.
yeah.
Okay, on that one,
Yep.
all right. Well, just through the last one, I was not happy. I was not a commissioner, but anyway, all right. That's for work day.
And commissioners, just for your reference, I kind of put up a work plan in there as far as a time frame of going out in the packets on how I plan to go out there and advertise for this position. Now, thank you for bringing that up because it is, we'll probably have to do a budgetary adjustment. And I don't know if this is going to be a commissioner or a county manager's off department or publishing of this, because I plan to, would probably do the Albuquerque Journal. I would first look to go within the state of New Mexico and I'll do the National Association of Counties. I'd like to get someone here that's familiar with the laws and statutes and, or at least lives here. They have a sense of, the society and culture that remains here and I think is vital for working with those people in New Mexico. So Southern Colorado, all of New Mexico.
Only desire is to get the best operating manager we can get and move forward in a constructive matter. So I personally don't care where they come from, but I did the parts you listed about them living here in there. I mean, we need them to, you know, if not used to our culture, they need to learn it.
Yeah.
And they need to be part of it.
I've seen instances where the managers or people haven't lived here, like with our prior hospital, we had the CEO lived in Albuquerque and the CEO or the hospital went, and I don't know if this is the main reason, but the hospital went through a bunch of issues and challenges. And I think it's important that you're not only living here during the work week, but also here, you know, year round.
Yeah.
Everything else, you're vested in the community.
Yes. Agreed.
All
right.
I also have one thing that I would like to request when we get it narrowed down and we're doing the background check. I would like the individual to go through the same background check that our sheriff's deputies go through and not just the little one that traditionally have done, because I think we could head off some stuff. I know it may cost us, a few $100s, but I think it's well worth it in the long run. And I know I've spoke to the sheriff about this, and he said that his source can do that and willing to do that, and it's not an issue. So I would request that we do that extensive check.
Yeah. So,
We'll put that on the next agenda since I kind of the one that led us off base. All right, no further discussion. Line item 45, closed session pursuant to NMSA 1978, section 10-15-1H, parentheses 7, pending litigation. Colfax County versus Roadrunner Health Service LLC and Mary Lou Kern. Do I have a motion to go into closed session?
I'll make that motion.
Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Abstain.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. It is, did we close?
10:42.
10:42. Thank you.
Mr. Menard, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, am I in the right spot?
Yes, I believe they're in closed session right now.
And is this the closed session?
No.
Okay, let me try getting in again then, because I'm supposed to be in that meeting.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, am I in the right spot?
More man cap for you. Nope.
Two. Are we ready? Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm up. Motion to come out of closed session.
I'll make the motion.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Steve?
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum.
Yes. Line item 46, discussion action, open session pursuant to NMSA 1978, section 10-15-1H, parentheses 7, pending litigation, Colfax County Roadrunner Health Service LLC and Mary Lou Kern. Those in were myself, Commissioner Trujillo, Attorney Soto, and Attorney John
Lynn Martinez.
John Martinez. No action was taken. We didn't take.
Nope. So we're just,
That's what I thought. All right, line up, huh? Yeah, only thing discussed is what was on the listing. Line item 47, manager's docket. Mr. Trujillo?
Yep. I do want to just give a special shout out and thanks to Mrs. Avila, Danielle Avila in our office. She's been managing a couple jobs with her CPO and HR. So I appreciate the patience of all the other department heads and everyone else and the others working in our office. I know it's still been a little stressful, and I just wanted to give a public recognition to them and thank them all for everything. I have been talking with our finance director to regards inventories and stuff like that. I talked with the finance director, and I still have yet to talk to the fire marshal about this, but they'll get done. I plan for them to go out and hit the fire stations to double check inventories to make sure to get those cleaned up. That will help on that part. I do want to give a thank you to Sarah and Rietta too. They've been helping me this last week. I fully got an experience what IPRA is. And it has stopped me from doing most of my other work this last week. And that was only like 4 IPRA, so I can't even imagine what the sheriff goes through. You pretty much need an employee for IPRA. It'd be easier too when we were able to gather everything. But thank you both. I appreciate it. So I do. Thank you. Just to be aware, we do have a couple road openings. I'd ask Sheriff Baca if our background check came back with one of our roads guys, if you don't mind looking at it when you get a chance. So Glenn did hire one operator. Another operator did obtain a CDL. Yes, sir. And then we did have 2. So we do have 2 openings within the roads department now. One individual went to the state and the other individual just quit. So
I assume those will be on the agenda
yes,
for approval for refilling.
yes. Okay. Well, one of those positions I believe is not one of those positions too is also it's an individual that's using up his sick and vacation before he retires. So
Okay, so he's not gone.
he's not working, but he's
So we've hired one blade man and we're gonna be short 2 more.
correct.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. When it comes to budget time, I just wanted to plant the seed now. I would like to request a line item within the county roads department and just have it the county roads reserve and just allocate 120,000 in there. Leave it in there. So that line item's not touched unless it's absolutely needed. That was an issue that an issue we ran into in the past with last year, I believe, is where they overspent the budget. DFA, we got our stuff kicked back from DFA just regarding the $120,000 wasn't enough in there. So we had to transfer from general fund. So
Part of that though, last year is when we did the temporary crossing at Blosser Gap.
yes,
And that 275,000 or whatever that was, that came out of the roads budget and it shouldn't have, it should have came out of capital.
yeah,
And that adjustment was never made. Had that happened, the roads would have been fine.
yeah. But it might clear some things up, but just something to ponder. And then the other thing is with the emergency management position, I would like to ask for a wildfire suppression fund, making it kind of a rolling fund that goes kind of like the other fire departments have, where as we get reimbursements, he could get paid sooner than having, because it doesn't necessarily fall in line with county policy as far as reimbursements and stuff like that go. I'd like to not have him wait so long on certain reimbursements because it has to go from the feds to the state, to the county, back to the state, and then back to us before he could get paid out on some of his expenses. I have requested a department head meeting March 20th at 2 p.m. This is going to be a brief training and then just kind of an update. I'd ask all department heads and maybe their deputies to attend. If you cannot attend, please let me know or just send someone from your office. It would be, we're going to be discussing the SharePoint, or we're going to, first off, going to be discussing TerraLogic and the scanning. It's going to be, the meeting's going to be ran by Mr. Sotos. Beto Dominguez is going to give a small brief discussion on OneNote and myself. Part of this, so we're going to talk about TerraLogic and the scanning. Next is going to be the SharePoint. And these are going to be small, brief introductions into this. I hope that you will use it and benefit from it. After that, it's going to be streams, which is going to be, you could record what the actions you are doing. And I'm trying to do this for turnover and continuity of our government, so we don't lose the institutional knowledge that we do have, and it's easy to fill in a position. Also Chat GPT, as far as utilizing that, just to even clean up emails or thoughts or certain stuff like that. And then just any brief discussions that we would like to have as a county department, as a county. I will request from JAG, I guess, budget education workshops ahead of time for department heads. Just best practices and good things to move forward into the budget season. And also I would plan to do one on a separate either weekend or evening with the fire chiefs. This way they could get a little education on as far as the budget workshop goes and answering any questions that they might have.
Yeah, a lot of them have their own bookkeepers, so you'd need to bring those in also.
Yes. But this way it just give a helpful education, kind of get everyone on the same page. And like I said, a night or a weekend where and they could zoom in, they don't have to be here. But it provide them an opportunity to ask some questions and get clarifications on things. And next thing is I did want to inform the commission that our contract with Lynn Isaacson did expire at the end of December. I did reach out to him and notify him not to incur any more costs upon the county. He was in agreement with that, and that's good there. Let me see here. The question was asked, why resolutions? I've been doing resolutions. So part of this is my education and learning why resolutions are done, but it was to formalize decisions. So for authorization of contracts, endorsing policies and budgets, but it's also used to declare intentions or support. And it's also used for authorizing agreements or financial actions or providing clear documentation by the written record of the government's body stance or decision, often required by audits, legal clarity, or historical documentation. So it's probably just one little extra step, but it's it make things more clear and precise is why I've been doing the resolutions. And you've seen so many of them as of recently.
The only question I have for you is on Blosser Gap. Have we ever got our last inspection to where we can get that over? I think we were waiting on an EPA or.
I believe so, and I apologize for that. Mr. Provine, I did have a meeting with him this last Monday. And that was one of the actions items he needed to work internally. So I think overall they've got everything they needed from the EPA. It's just internal work that they need to do within Moles and Corbin.
Okay. And on the airport, we're all good to go there. Just got to put it out for bid now.
For the airport and hangar?
Yes.
Yes, I believe so. And that's going to be
Hangar and
coming.
door repair.
Yes. And then regarding the Blosser Gap, there is I do need to reach out to Westmac. I still have had the opportunity to do so. But it may be where the county needs to do something with his fencing due to the diversion of the road to help keep his cattle in. So that might be a expense that's incurred, but we could throw that towards the grant.
Okay. Do you have any questions, Commissioner Kern? Anything else, sir?
No, I think that answers most of mine.
Line item 48, Commissioners. Docket, Vice Chair Kern.
Just a couple of things. Just an update on the lodger's tax. We didn't have the meeting on the Monday because two of our current lodger's tax individuals can't meet on Monday, so we met via Zoom on Friday so that we could get this one application through before it was too late. That turned into a fiasco. The meeting was hacked and it was a sight that I'll never unsee. I've worked with IT, both Tim and Amadeo, to be able to help us with that going forward to assure that nothing like that ever happens again. The committee has set the new meeting dates for the third Tuesday of the month, 9 o'clock here in the chambers. It will be available for the committee to attend via Zoom, should they choose to, but as far as those giving reports and making requests, they will have to be here in chambers in person.
Okay.
It will also, if somebody wants to attend by Zoom, they will have to send in a request to do so. So we will have that meeting on the 18th, and we have currently 3 new applications to review, and then the review of the LMNOC one as well. So we should have several applications on the next commission meeting. I'd like to back up where we were talking about the personnel policy, and that I know we have several changes in the policy that need to take place, and in an effort to save advertising, if we could possibly postpone that advertisement until after the next meeting to give department heads a couple of weeks to go over the policy. I know I had a whole bunch of changes that I wanted to make when I was county manager, and maybe we can bring those forth all at one time.
I agree. And same issues.
Yeah.
And I would suggest having a department head meeting, and I know you're really busy, Cy. I did speak with Sheriff Baca to see if he would head that up since he brought this up.
Okay.
He's very, very familiar with our policy and that, and if he could meet with the department heads and kind of spearhead that and those suggestions for us. And he's nodding yes, so.
You know, the one thing that might be nice is a OneNote. Create a OneNote, or I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know how it's done, but a OneNote policy change.
I got 6 notes.
Anyway. Shut it up.
I got 3 notes.
There you go.
But anyway, I think that, let's, you know, if we're gonna do it, let's clean it all up, so.
Do it right the first time.
Yes, sir,
Yes, ma'am.
if at all possible.
Thank you.
And then just a reminder of the shooter training, I believe the sheriff is hosting tomorrow, 10 to 1 and 1 to 3. Okay, thank you for that clarification. I had received a complaint about maybe there's on A7 narrowing of the road due to the installation of a cattle guard, and I did send information to Glenn about that. He was supposed to follow up, but I haven't heard back from him on what his findings were, but.
So Commissioner Kern, I do have an update. If you don't mind me interrupting.
Like to know.
Let's see here. I did get an update this morning. Glenn has visited the site and he's going to be discussing with me that it does appear to be too narrow for the road. So we will have to reach out to those individuals that are putting in the kennel garden, request it be larger.
This was a private individual put it in?
My understanding is they're putting a new fence in and it was cutting across the county road, so they were paying for it all, but it wasn't sufficient.
Yeah.
Okay, well, when it involves a county road, don't we usually install it? and
Usually they
pay for-
provide and we install, yeah.
Okay, that's, I just wanted clarification.
That's been the practice in the past, Chairman Tatum.
Same
Sorry.
culverts.
Yeah, they would
Yeah.
provide the material and we would install to make sure, so.
I just wanted to clarify, so thank you. If I may comment, I read the lodgers tax deals. It was nice to see they were actually filled out. There was actually values put in the boxes. And moving forward, I would like to continue to see that. Before I was a commissioner, I noticed a lot of them were blank with just vocal numbers and submittance, but thank you for stepping up and everything else.
I'm still working on trying to figure out exactly where we're at with carryovers. I haven't been able to get a copy of the last report that was submitted to the state, but I am meeting with Leroy today to see if he can't try to help me with that.
And Commissioner Kern, I did get all the other information from Michael while he was here about the system that he used to track and everything like that, and I'll be happy to provide you with all that information.
Because I know we were using Granicus, but I understand they expired, so we need to decide whether or not we continue with them. I would recommend that we do.
I've already set it up for renewal. So. Because we missed the notification to cancel anyways, so it was just a slight increase and I figured it was a subscription. So I went ahead and renewed it.
Okay.
If I'm incorrect, please let me know.
Okay, anything else, Vice Chair Kern?
Not that I can think of, sir. Thank you.
Commissioner Trujillo, any further?
I did remember one thing. So I have been working with the county roads department. I haven't been working. They've been doing the most of it. We're going to bring a new county roads policy in front of the commission for review at this next meeting as well. It mirrors Union counties real close. And this will just be for a first reading of this roads policy.
Yeah, please, if we're gonna be reviewing long policies and that, get them to us sooner than later.
Yeah.
For,
Yeah.
Obviously, for obvious reasons.
Well, what we could do is I could send it to the attorney first and then actually postpone it to a month from now. So we have enough time to review and bring it for consideration. Any other possible changes?
Review it and changes. That would be good.
It's kind of a busy time right
Yeah.
now.
Gonna get crazy.
From here out.
All right, sir. Is that it?
That's it.
Good. Myself, I don't have a whole lot today. Welcome aboard, Attorney Soto. Look forward to working with you. I have several things that'll come to you, but that I've been working on myself. I will reserve that until I have proper answers. Thank you all for continuing to work and move us forward. We have counties at the Roundhouse tomorrow. I believe the assessor, both clerks and myself are going. And we may end up having to share a table. They kind of messed up, but we'll make do with what we got. We don't know yet. So we'll deal with that. I look forward to the roads deal. I think it's something that's needed to be ironed out a long time and several other things. At what point were you gonna move Michael and Nate? Or have them moved?
Michael already did it. I knew it was kind of talked about before I even became acting county manager. He already did that. So for the most part, there's, I think, some things that need to be moved in there still to over.
Yeah.
I'll just coordinate with Nate. I mean, ideally, I would like to have him up here. It's a tight confined office.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, there's just some other changes that I'm asking as an acting county manager to occur within invoicing and billing that we've discussed prior, and I'll be happy to discuss it again with any commissioner as acting county manager. And just to better have skin in the game and whatnot, to work with closer to each other with camaraderie and whatnot.
Other than what I added to on the posting of the manager's job. And I have several other things, but we're just gonna let it sit. Unless you have any questions for me, I'd motion to adjourn.
I have one question, sir, in reference to posting to the manager's position. Are we gonna do it for a certain amount of time or like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, month?
I'd say, position will remain open until filled. As far as circulation goes, I'd say at least 2 months worth of circulation. I don't know that's just from when I look at,
other posts.
I look at the legals and newspapers, Mr. Sotos, how often do they, I mean, it's usually 3 postings, right? When you do a foreclosure or something like that, that has to be posted out. I'm just thinking of a reasonable time frame to split it out, I guess. So it'd be once every 2 weeks. We could post in a newspaper or something like that for the legals that we're looking for the open position.
Yeah, you can post it once every 2 weeks. I don't think you need to post it more than twice.
Okay. So don't post more than twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because after that, you're just delaying.
Isn't it? Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
On clarity.
Yep. Understand.
I like it.
All right, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Kern,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Chairman Tatum,
Yes.